614 Startups Nation, it's me again, and I'm here with the man that started it all, Mr. Jason Hipsher, guest 001 on the 614 Startups podcast. What's up, Jason?
How you doing? Good to see you, Elio.
All right. Awesome, man. Good to see you here. When I saw you, then I knew this was a big event to be at, and I'm glad to be here because you are the man in the startup community. What's been going on with you, man?
Oh gosh, busy. Consulting during the day. I've got a couple project management implementations I'm working on, and then from the startup scene, working on something with Ohio State Commercialization Office and evaluating a startup and possibly commercializing it from there. So that's been keeping me busy as well.
That's awesome. So what kind of consulting do you do? Because there are folks out there in the startup community who might need your help.
Yeah, really, I've got an operations background, everything from operations strategy. So when you think of staffing, scaling, workflow, any of those back office operation tasks or departments, I can help there. System implementations, evaluating technology, bringing new technology into the business, switching out systems, any of those types of things. So pretty broad.
Yeah, when is the best time to bring somebody like you on board if you have a startup? So you have an idea, you're starting to develop the product. When is the best time to start talking to experts like yourself about ops?
Well, I think as early as possible, because especially if you grab onto an idea that really, starts to take off, you need to really have a plan before that actually happens. So, even when you're building your business plan, I've helped startups at Rev 1 with their business plan and thinking about things in the future of, okay, once you start to scale, how are you going to do it? Even if scaling is 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, it changes along the way. So as early as possible, I would recommend.
Okay. Now, are you ready to talk about this new startup that you're working with? Because you're the second person in the row that mentioned the commercialization center at OSU. Can you talk about it?
I can a little bit. So we've got a behavioral mental health app and platform that a physician at OSU has some material that he's working on. And there's a pilot going on right now with first responders here in the state of Ohio. Depending on how that pilot goes and what the research comes back at, we'll make some decisions then of, are we going to commercialize it? If so, what vertical are we going to go into? So more to come on that. We'll see.
Behavioral health is a huge, huge, huge issue. It's probably always been that way, but now people are more comfortable talking about it. So what are some things as you go to market with this idea, as you start to talk to people, where's the interest? What are some things that they would like this to, what are some of the problems that you're hearing that this could possibly solve?
Yeah, it's pretty wide, and that's the one thing we're challenged with is trying to figure out which market to go in. But right now the focus is on healthcare professionals and first responders because they suffer from just as much behavioral and mental health issues as any one of us do because they're dealing with trauma every day. So you think about the opioid addiction epidemic that we have. They have to deal with these things. And so there's a big interest from that perspective of trying to help these individuals. But even our schools, as you mentioned, behavioral health has been a stigma where people don't want to talk about it. People are starting to now, unfortunately, because of things that we've seen happen in our schools and school shootings and whatnot. Mental health, behavioral health is a huge issue for our youngsters. And so there's a big application for this at the school level as well. And so, there's a number of things we need to decide of what market to go in, but a huge applicability across, a wide spectrum.
Yeah. Now, almost to the day a year ago, you were on the 614 Startups recording. Yes, wow. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary. What was that experience like, man?
Well, it was amazing for me because it was my first true podcast. I've done some webinars before, but I think, the experience to just get in on the ground floor and share some knowledge.
We were in the basement.
We were in the basement. Yeah. So it took me a little bit to find where we were going. So, but it's been great. And to see how things are growing with 614 Startups, I think it's amazing. I love what you're doing. I love the different things you're bringing to the community. But it's been fun. It's been really exciting.
Awesome. Jason, I owe you a big debt of gratitude. You were guest 1. I reached out to you, and you came on the podcast, and you recorded that podcast. And from there, the trajectory has been upward ever since. So thank you so much. Folks, if you're out there, this is my man, Jason Hipsher. I want to introduce him to you. operations consultant extraordinaire and doing some very, very important work in behavioral health and mental health. So if you're on that side and you want to talk to somebody, hit up Jason Hipsher. How do people get a hold of you, Jason?
Wow. Look at LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest, but hipsherj@yahoo.com. That's my email. But I'm around. You ask people, but LinkedIn's an easy place. Just message me there. So,
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jason.
thank you, Elio. Appreciate it.